I'm going to talk a little bit about the benefits of the revocable living trust. First, start off, I'll tell you what it is not. It is not a living will. Sometimes people confuse the two. The two are very different. A living will states what you want or don't want at the end of life in terms of medical care. A living trust is a little different. Think of it as a box. So there's a blank sheet of paper almost. And it's a way that you can pass on your assets in an efficient way by putting everything into the trust. So you have the trust, which is a box. Imagine you want to get rid of this pen after you're gone. You want the phone to go someplace, and you want the cup of coffee to go someplace too. What you're going to do is you're going to transfer all of those things into what's called a revocable living trust. The language of that trust document is going to determine where everything goes after you've died. And what happens in the revocable living trust? Well, you're the trustee of your revocable living trust, and what your trust does is it describes in detail what should happen upon your death. In other words, how your assets should be distributed upon your death. The great thing about the revocable living trust is that when you pass away, the person you've named successor trustee then takes over and is able to do what the trust document says. So if it says, give property, my beach house to my granddaughter, then that's what the trustee can do. So it's really powerful because it does a few things. One, in some ways it short circuits the probate process. In other words, your trustee does not have to go through the probate process in order to either transfer title of that beach house or sell that beach house and give the money to your granddaughter like you would ordinarily. It short circuits the probate process, essentially. The second great thing about it is it creates privacy. Nobody knows what the trust document contains. Wills are public documents. They get filed with the surrogate's court. If you leave a property to somebody under your will, you can be rest assured that either the attorney handling the file or your executor is going to get a letter from a real estate company offering to sell your house. So since it's a public document, people's names are in there, addresses of properties and those kinds of things. They can all be found out pretty easily. Third major benefit is that you don't have to set up a tax ID number for a revocable living trust. All you do basically is you report it under your own tax return. So until you either become incapacitated or die, the trust, nothing happens. And if you decide to revoke it, you can revoke it at any time. It's very different from some of the more sophisticated trusts because most of them are irrevocable. That means once you've set it up, it's really difficult to undo it. Those are the benefits. What are the downsides? One, it doesn't offer any credit or protection during your lifetime. It's more of a probate avoidance device and a property transfer device than anything. So it doesn't give you, protection from creditors, people that are, in bankruptcy or through, spouses and divorce proceedings, etc. The cost is a lot higher. Well, yeah, it is a little bit more expensive, but you spend money up front and you save money down the end, and you create a situation that makes it easier for your loved ones to move on, because what they have to do doesn't involve the surrogate's court, doesn't involve a public document and those types of things. One of the downsides too is that if you don't put something into the revocable living trust, it's not there. It's going to pass outside of your revocable living trust and have to go through probate. So what we often do is create something called a pour-over will, and what that does is says, I leave everything to my trustee under the revocable living trust. You have to stay on top of it and make sure that you transfer all of the assets. If you do that, then it's a really great way to avoid the probate process. Your wishes carried out quickly and easily and while maintaining privacy. Further and final upside is that once you've passed away, then the trust becomes irrevocable. Everything that was in this box, this revocable living trust, is now in an irrevocable trust, and that irrevocable trust has the protections from creditors, from bankruptcy, from divorce, and all these things that you might need or want if you want to do some more thorough trust planning as a part of your estate plan. One of the other upsides of the revocable living trust, you can word it so that when you pass away, it becomes irrevocable. That means it can't be undone. And the benefit of that is the assets that you had in that trust then can be held and used for the health, education, and welfare of your children if you have them, or to do some creative planning so that your spouse, if you have a surviving spouse, is taken care of, charities are taken care of, or whatever it is. So it's a powerful tool that enables you to do a lot of things right away, right now, that you might not otherwise be able to do if you just have a plain old quote unquote simple will. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your attention. Have a great day.